at this moment with Election Focus right here on NSG News with Integrity. We were earlier on, having interaction with our resource person before we lost him. And I think before we get him on the line, Kofi, what are you gathering so far?
Well, we are learning some big wigs of the New Patriotic Party are suffering defeats. People like Peter Mewu, Katie Hammond, and a couple of others are suffering defeats. Dakwa Newman and Slowusu, and all of them. And this is not good news for the ruling party.
What does this mean? Because looking at this key points where we all know they are the stronghold of the NPP and all of a sudden this is happening.
It tells you one simple thing. When the Ghanaian is quiet and he is not talking, it simply means he has something under his sleeves. Okay? And he's going to let you know on election day, on the 7th of December, by midnight, everybody will know his or her smoothness level.
But in this case,
yes,
I know definitely there will be some number of the balance will be clear at this point. By which margin do you expect this to fall?
I'm looking at a very huge majority figures in Parliament for the NDC. If things goes well goes as it's going, it looks like they can get a huge majority. Don't forget, we have 276. They have added. I think where South, they have added South constituency to it now. So 275 has now graduated to 276. So out of 276, I'm looking ahead, they could garner some 170 or 180 seats. Yeah, it's very possible. It's very possible because in 2016, NPP got close to 170, I think 160 something. Then in 2020, NDC halved it. Yes, so it became 137, one independent, you understand? So they can also do it in 2024. They can go around 170, 180. They can do it.
I think at this point, what I would say is I believe our thinking our politicians don't really learn from experience.
Both sides, they don't learn. MPP and NDC, they don't learn.
And I think we've not mentioned John Miller has also gone for.
Yeah, that's a huge defeat for the NPP. Lydia Forsen, also a minister, and the leader in Parliament, as the majority side of Parliament. You understand? That's a big loss. So our own John Dumelo, he's a media, film, and showbiz person, and everybody at Legon, because he keep telling us, I lost 2020 because those my fans at Legon, because of COVID, had gone on vacation, and once they are in campus, I'm going to win. And for me, it's a reason why the New Patriotic Party brought its final rally on the Legon campus, right? But still, they lost it. Yeah.
Well, let's look at Adenta, where we know
something miraculous and something historic is also happening at Adenta, where Ramadan has retained the seat. Never happened. You don't win 2 times in Adenta. You come in, you clean yourself, you go. All right? Ramadan has made it possible. So we'll tell Cozy better luck next time. Yeah.
That's amazing. And so,
but it's important to also indicate that Sami Jemfi organized a press conference some few minutes ago, and he was urging the National Democratic Congress party members and sympathizers of NDC, people who are floating voters. They don't belong to NDC, but at this time and this moment, they love NDC because they think MPP has messed up. He was just encouraging them that nobody should celebrate or jubilate now. They should head to the coalition centers and help in observing rigorously or vigilantly the process that is ongoing at the various coalition centers so they can win massively.
But
Yeah.
do you think, looking at the NPP's message, especially championing on the free SHS, where they know or they have hopes that they could keep teaching most of the
Now, we'll drive by and we'll call Apple and the Aquashet got a move for SHS. You know, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like I was telling you, was it yesterday? I told you this morning or yesterday that free SHS got into the Ghanaian political arena in 2008. It fought its way in opposition for 8 years, 2008, 2012. Akufo-Addo lost it. Okay, we came to 2016 and Ghanaians said they were tired with NDC. They want free SHS to come up. They welcomed it and it has been popular for 8 years. So it has done its bit. I'm not sure free SHS, as MPP was going into this very election, they were highlighting the achievement of education and especially free SHS to be the beacon of hope for them to be retained to break the AIDS. Unfortunately, it is not looking as it is. We are yet to see the final result by tomorrow or by Monday, but at least what we are hearing now is not looking in their direction. I think we have our special guest online now.
Yes.
Abe, it's good to have you back.
Thank you very much. I don't know what happened to Digital Ghana.
Digitalization, eh?
I think it's a sign, you know. You never know, it could be a sign. So, Digital Ghana, and just was it that you lost supply to your studios or what? Because
Justice can better explain that.
Production. They meet. We'll see. But yes, I'm happy to be back. And what's new? What do you have for me? I'm here.
Actually, we are learning some big wigs
subjects
of
you
the
have on the
NPP.
table.
Yes, some big wigs of the NPP are losing their seats, and it's going to be becoming so many of them. Some serious big wigs in the NPP are losing their seats. That's what is happening, and history is being made in Adenta.
That brings to my mind something Dr. Joyce Manu said, the political marketing specialist,
Yes.
academic person, when she said that people have to begin to make the politicians know they are not invincible. I'm paraphrasing here, where if they promise they don't deliver, vote them out. And so the process will work. And so those coming knows that there comes 4 years, you don't do well, you send you packing. So if the people says no, there should be a reason, and we can only respect the choice of the people.
You're right. That's very true.
Now we'll see. The potholes that they didn't take care of, they'll come by and we'll drive on it out together. It's a fact. It's a fact. We have to come to a place where we speak freely as Ghanaians. This thing that we bury our heads in the sand pretending we are afraid, because Ghanaians are never afraid. We are lying to ourselves that we are afraid. Actually, the reason for some hiding their face is their stomach. If they show their face, their political friends are going to push the party so they don't earn anymore, so they don't want to show their face.
That's true.
Because I am so convinced Ghanaians, we are not cowards. We are not. At least I know I am not a coward, so that's an
No,
evidence.
Ghanaians are not.
So if we keep running around to say, oh, they'll do this, they'll do that, sometimes you have to stand to a bully to stop the bully. You keep running, he enjoys it. The bully derives satisfaction from your expression of pain and agony and that fear of his coming. You stand to the bully, then he goes away. You don't, he's going to continue chasing you because that's his nature.
That's very true. Thank you very much. And Nana, you have some more questions for him.
Well, you were about asking him about the shock at Adenta.
Absolutely. You know, in Adenta, you do not get into Adenta constituency and win that seat and retain it. But this time around, Ramadan, who belongs to the NDC, has been able to do it. He's retained the seat for NDC. Very historic.
So, any of you living around Adenta,
I do.
is there any reason that he should retain his seat? Do you think the retention is justified by the development in his constituency? Or it's just people being people?
Well, I stay at Adenta Frafraha, and I haven't done enough work in Adenta to be able to answer this question properly. But from a far observation, I think it's quite genuine to retain him, if you ask me.
I think I don't know much about Adenta, but anyway, the people say he's the one, so let's leave it there. He's the
Absolutely.
one. But I want a corresponding a presence within the within the constituency to reflect the fact that these terms for him, for the second term, is justified by what he has achieved as an MP. That's all I'm trying to say. That is how our electoral process should become. We, the people, should always let our terms speak to reflect if you have delivered or you have under-delivered.
And I'm confident Ghanaians, they are something, no. They are paying attention, they are listening. Because I'm watching Ursula and Samuel Abu Jinapo.
Yes.
All have been kicked out. Hey, Ghana for Sana Mote.
And one interesting aspect is
Is this across both aisles? NDC, MPP being kicked
Mostly MPP guy is being kicked out.
all the information that are coming out are the big words from the MPP.
Are you sure? Are you sure they're not being kicked out because of the atmosphere of everybody says that they have failed us?
Which is a good reason to kick them out.
Most of them are being caught up in the bigger picture of the sitting government, i.e. the umbrella, the decision makers at the top.
That's very true. But if the sitting government is performing and doing well, it will trickle down to the constituency or the district. True?
To some extent, yes, but let's look at it this way. So the MP comes and says that, okay, common fund was not made available to me, the project monies never came then. But if these things have been made available to all of them, it is believed, or that is the understanding, the project monies are made available to various constituencies. But yet, some constituencies never seen a change since 1992. That's what I mean. But
Okay.
it is said, for instance, it is said that NDC did well up until 2016. But yet, there were still some NDC government constituencies that didn't perform well. Do you understand what I mean? So
I
that's
do.
what I mean, that is some of the MPs not getting punished because of the bigger expression, i.e., what is said that, oh, Nana Akufo-Addo this, Nana Akufo-Addo that. That's what I mean.
Right, you have a point, Nada. You have some more for M.
The next thing has to do with Peter Mbewu losing all right.
Yeah, that's quite.
Actually, he is the only member of parliament
For the Volta region,
NPP,
yeah.
Winning the seat in the Volta region, and now they end up losing it. Do you think he lost the seat based on, just as you're saying, looking at it from the big picture where the top is not working enough to affect those down there, or the people feel it is time for the NPP to go to a position for yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I've just got, I'm not sure if you guys can verify that. There's this screenshot sent to me about the coalition. It's a website, so I'm trying to pull that website out to verify that. Because he has some numbers here I don't want to mention whether it's verified, because these days people can design anything. So
That's true.
it says something coalition live. Can production check if they can have? I don't know.
Please go ahead and send it to us.
Coalition or national coalition?
Could you say that again?
I think it's just a live picture covering one of the names. So is it NDC Nation Coalition or something?
Or is it National Coalition?
I'll send it to you guys and see if you can verify, because I don't want to say if this is not. Let me just send it to you.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, sure.
Bear with me. Very important you see this, and then maybe you can verify it, because what I'm saying is interesting.
I have one I would want to find out from you. There's a call from Sami Jenfi. He organized a press conference not too long ago, and he is asking members of the NDC not to jubilate, but rather go to the coalition centers and observe proceedings and collation over them. What do you make of such a call? Because the collation centers are quite a restricted place. These are very small halls, and access is granted people who have accreditation. That is really what happened at Ablekuma West, where we saw people mass up heavily and trying to prevent electoral.
You know, in our country, sometimes we do interesting stuff. I believe each party have their polling agents, and only them are allowed to verify these things and to sign off and progress them, right? So to ask the whole NDC to go to the coalition centers, I'm not sure what the end result will be.
That is going to be chaotic.
So I don't understand it. I think Sami Jenfi is the communications
Director.
What's his position?
Communication officer of the NDC.
So what is that call for? Because the polling agents will only leave site when they are done with their jobs and the results have been tabulated and placed in the ledger or the spreadsheet, and they sign off. But to ask
but one would say they have to be vigilant.
What is it? Who is to be vigilant? The NDC members or the polling agents?
Both of them.
But we have to trust the process. We have polling agents. Their job is to represent their political party or independent candidate at the polling stations to oversee the proceedings. But if you're now asking the NDC sympathizers and members to be vigilant, that could be taken out of context.
One would say if you are dealing with a ruling party that has a taste of power and is so much, what's the right word? Eager to maintain power, if you like, power drunk, you don't deal with them with the ordinary style, if you ask me. So maximum you have 2 people as your agents. Let all members in the constituency go there so they can be intimidated. They won't do what they have planned to do, so they can hold on to power. What about that?
Each party is to present. If they are to present one, they all have to present. Are you saying that the ruling party have more polling agents?
Not really, but it is perceived that they control the military, they control the police, they control the EC.
What do we mean by controls the EC?
It is perceived, though.
That is the perception, and this is some of the challenges I have, that we don't trust our system. When I say people get upset with me to say that, begin to make certain kind of comments, but we have to trust the system up until it is not working.
Yeah.
Do we have reason to think something fishy is going on? We can't just be writing and feeding on speculations.
They tell us they have intel, they have security information that people are about to open their rigging machinery.
What is a rigging machinery? Ghanaian systems, most of these counts are physical, not machine, where you say it will be programmed to.
You are right, but the machinery could be that some at the coalition centers, things are going to, machinations are going to happen before it gets to the regional, before it gets to the national.
We said this before, right?
Right.
So go and police it.
How, if you're asking the people to police, when the people police things, violence takes place, doesn't it?
That's true.
The question is, do we have equal polling agents for all parties and independent candidates? So if you don't have, for whatever reason, you choose not to have the required number of polling agents, you have yourself to blame. You can't now just be asking the whole people to say, go over there and do what?
So you don't think it's a right call? You don't think it's a right call,
I don't think so. We hear people saying, vote and go home and watch the proceedings. Trust your polling agents to do the job. Yes, if, let's say, a particular place, I don't think so. Like I said, I speak for country. I don't think so. I don't think that it is. What if you have an intel? What do? You call your polling agents. So if the polling agents to say, make sure you keep records. Make sure you keep records of the proceedings before you pass it on. So you tell your next level, district level, or whatever levels they have, the regional coalition centers, to say, look, we are hearing some information. Please, these are the numbers that are coming from various polling stations. Make sure, keep your eyes open, and make sure these records are tabulated properly. But to ask the whole NDC or MPP membership to go police, you're asking for violence.
You're right. No, you have some more for him.
With this, let's make reference to 2012.
All right.
It's happened. People were getting we were on the field. Before the EC could declare who has won, that's where we had the problem of, the bringing issue. Now, course, when it goes to court, they made everybody understood that elections are won from the polling station. And this is what I think parties are trying to prevent. So, with what you're saying, fine, measures may be put in place, but we are dealing with a human institution, and like we presume, the black man, no matter what you say or try to do right, at the end of the day, you will get people faulting at the point. Like, for instance, this morning, after we've been told that all measures are put in place, voting has started, in a nice way, we later had information where some polling stations were late 4 hours.
Are you surprised?
I mean, I should be surprised.
No, no. I speak from country people and people point. Are you surprised the polling stations are late? What is the nature of our roads? Do you have smooth roads? Some places people have to walk and take distance. We act in interesting, we're pretending we don't know the conditions of our country. If a police station starts late, it's no reason for you to think that something is wrong.
The reason why there is...
Even from Accra Central to Ablekuma and all those places, English and Mountford, driving down to those areas, look at the roads. What is the matter with us? We are pretending we don't know. Almost, if I'm not exaggerating, about 80% of our roads are not good.
You're right.
And then you want to say what? Some should even open at 12 o'clock. I will not be surprised. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. The EC needs to come clear. We have...
What do you mean by the EC should come clear? Now, look, sometimes we act as though we think Ghana is just a small box somewhere, someone peep inside the hole and just know what is happening everywhere. No, Ghana is a nation. It's big and vast. So if you have something happening in a front plains, Stando, wherever, it takes time to reach the EC. You can't just burden the EC with every issue that kicks off in a corner. It needs to go through the chain. And we, the people, we are not allowing the chain to run because we jump on the bandwagon of these questionable character politicians who begin to play games with us. I will not be surprised if some of the police stations didn't open at all because the people never arrived. Right there, somebody's going to start jumping and saying that, oh, okay, the sitting government he prevented them. No, lack of development prevented them. You get my point?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's look at the NPP, the figures coming from. I mean, there are key points where they are losing their seats.
I'm learning how Akomsen has lost it too.
Whoa.
You don't mean it. You don't mean it.
People will lose, people will win. All right? And what we should be seeking is, one Dr. Josiah Ando, who was interviewed by Nana K during his outing on the People's Viewpoint, and he said, whoever wins, let's rally behind, support that person as our leader at constituency level, national level. So we become one as country and project one interest, one goal, one desire, development, peace, and togetherness. All these sentiments, at the end of the day, when you ride on these sentiments and these politicians go sit in their office, they don't even visit their constituencies.
No, at all.
This is why some are even getting beaten because someone has to be in office.
Wow.
Now I'm energized because you can't blame everything on the EC. Ghana is not a box that she's just peeping and know what's going on at the same time. This is why she has set up a structure. This is why there's a system. And so the only thing is for them to wait for the results to come. If they think that the number of stations that couldn't function legitimately undermines the result, it's her decision to make. So if Semi Jeffy is sitting somewhere in his air-conditioned room and asking people to charge and go and do what? Why would he charge and go do it himself? What is wrong with us?
Right. So, what I wanted us to look at is Kofi, with the top official, or some figures we've known from the NPP, talk of Osei, Chimensa, Dambuchi, and Co, who we know are staunch members of the NPP. When it comes to building strategies of winning elections, we trust them to do better. Do you think at this point they were not involved in, of course, at the latter part of, should I say, the year, you could realize they were not really into the activities of the NPP. Could that also be a factor why we're seeing what we're seeing today?
Yeah, you have a good point over there, but it could be, but it also would be that they are just behind the scene doing what they have to do, Dambuchi and the rest. Some of them have grown, all right, they don't have that energy. But for me, my concern, I would love him to dive or analyze for me so much is the big wigs we are losing in Parliament. How would it affect operations of Parliament? These are 1, 2, 3 terms. They have held their positions for 1 or 2 or 3 terms, and they have acquired some knowledge. And others are also coming fresh. Some are independent candidates. They are coming new. We have to retrain and retool them. Don't you think this is a cost to the state as a result of losing brains from Parliament?
That's one of the reasons why they've been playing with us all this while. We all have to learn at some point. We're not going to ride on that to say the old folks. He can offer his services as a statesman without the need to be in office if he loves country and people.
Yeah.
Of course, most of them are going to get some earth gracias, so that should be enough for them to offer free services to help the people to become effective in their dealings. So I don't think that is enough for us not to vote them out. Vote them all out, if you ask me, all of them. Vote them all out.
Of them out.
Kick them all out.
Wow.
If you ask me, kick them all out.
That's true.
The problem is that for a while now, it seems like we make it look like politics is the exclusive preserve of some. No, it's not. It's for all of us. We all do politics anyway. We argue among ourselves and we pretend that we are not politicians. We are all political animals. So let the new one also learn. They also started and learned. So that should not be an excuse. If the government resources will be used effectively and efficiently, it shouldn't cost us any more than it will cost us normally. If we are not going to be apportioning contracts to friends and family to say, oh, we want to train the newly elect, ding, 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 just so that somebody can pull something into their own coffers, it shouldn't cost us any more than it will cost normally.
I must announce that I am learning the police has fired tear gas to disperse crowd at the Ablekuma West as we speak currently. So it's getting heated already.
Ablekuma. That place. That place.
But see,
That please.
what you're saying, don't you also think that if too much of power is given to one party, that will also affect government business?
No, come again. Your question again.
I'm saying what you're saying. And I want to know, don't you also think that if too much of powers are given to one party, that can also affect government business?
I don't think I get your question very right, correctly. Can somebody help me? For some reason, you're coming to me not clear. I can hear Kofi very loud and clear. Can Kofi repeat the question to me?
Okay, then please tell me the question.
All right, so, with what he's saying, we need to vote them all out. Yes, of course, I agree with that. But giving too much powers to one party, don't you think that can also affect government business?
Okay, so he want to say if we vote most of them out and it turns out that we are giving too much power to say the NDC, we vote most of these people out and MPP, most MPP guys go out and happens that we have given enormous power to the NDC, won't it worry government business? Giving too much power to one side.
It's never going to be the first time that we have majority in parliament.
That's true.
So why should it be any different if that happens? You see, the fundamental problem that I always call to question is, what is the mentality and mindset of these people seeking power? That would determine how they behave. Look, when you squeeze a foam, what is in it will come out. The behavior we get from our leaders is been in them all along. And so once they get power, it becomes so evident.
Yeah.
So it's not if NDC or APP becomes the majority in parliament, it's not going to be the first time.
Yeah.
So I don't see how that will become a bottleneck for government's functionality and operations. Because we have almost a balanced parliament, yet NDC was jumping on about e-levy, but somehow e-levy passed. I suspect that some of the NDC people voted for the e-levy to pass. So don't think that having a majority means that everybody's going to agree with what is on the table.
I think it's quite clear. Yes.
Magda, what's the name? She never asked me any question. Is that?
Okay,
Jennifer. Yes.
Jennifer, you didn't say anything to me.
Oh,
Okay.
He's saying you did not say anything to him. Unfortunately, I think she's out of hearing you, so.
Okay. That's beautiful. So Jennifer can hear you now. Do you have a question for?
I can hear Jennifer. I can hear Jennifer.
Oh, okay. The reason why I was not able to ask you one or two questions because the men were doing the whole thing. In Ghana, we say men are eating. That is all.
Okay.
But
I say nothing.
This question I want to ask. So
Go on.
so in the election, how you see people reacted in the UK? Diaspora there.
At the moment, I am not privileged to how they are reacting, but for the few times that I have engaged, it seems like those that have come across wish there's a change of government. That's their feel. Again, it's all based on the informations that are on the internet about the sitting government. But I don't think we have to believe everything that is on the internet, because it's not true when you say a sitting government has done nothing. It's not entirely true. They've done something. NDC has done something. But the way I will put it is, since 1992, both NDC and MPP have failed in their promises. They've under-deliver all the time. Not close to anything that we can write home about. But again, this time, unfortunately for MPP, COVID came along, the economy was locked down, the pressure of everything coming on them has doubled the pressure.
Okay.
And the people are feeling it too. But they were the managers, so they are the ones to be blamed, unfortunately. So if you ask me, if I'm to extrapolate the number of people that suggest they want change of government, then I would say that majority of those in the UK are seeking for change of governance.
Oh, okay. So, what about the Asras that are in the UK that we were saying we are about to vote in Ghana, we are about to... Do you think they turn up in their numbers here in Ghana for the vote?
You look at it this way. We've not done enough to have a good pricing when it comes to plane tickets to Ghana. Even though it's just 6 hours or 6.5 hours, the price the ticket is very expensive. So if a guy in Ghana is saying that he would rather sell pure water than go to the polling station, how many Ghanaians do you think will seriously be buying plane tickets to go and vote? Somehow, I've known people who are going to Ghana to vote. So, but it's not a number that can tilt the ballot in favor of anybody. I don't think so. But yes, some people express their interest and have actually taken the decision to go to Ghana and vote and participate, exercising their rights of choice.
Okay, so my last question. Do you think years to come, when we are about to vote, they should give a room to the diasporas out there to vote out there for Ghana?
It will be good, but do we trust ourselves enough? Do we trust ourselves enough to say that we will accept the voting processes from which Ghanaians abroad to be?
Hey, you remember Ropa?
Even within Ghana, we are skeptical, especially the Volta region side of things. It is alleged that people come from Togo to vote. I'm yet to see evidence for it. So, is it a possibility? Yes. But do I think we will make that happen? No.
Okay.
We won't do it, not because it cannot be done. We will not do it. Because of the trust issue we have.
Yeah.
We don't trust ourselves. That would be good if that can be done. But the challenge we're going to have is the opposition party is going to be accusing the sitting, whoever will be in government, will always be accused to manipulate the results from abroad. Because who appoints the ambassadors? The sitting president. So if the mission abroad is going to manage the electoral process abroad, that will always become a contention. But ideally, it will be good because there's a lot of Ghanaians abroad, at least some selected countries. We should, but I don't think it will be a good thing. It will become a contention that we will fight all the time because of the way we behave when it comes to elections. Are we getting better every day? Yes, we are. That I would say. That happening maybe in 100 years to come. Maybe in 100 years to come. That's what I would say.
Okay, let's look at this. Let's say Bawumia will be the president for this 2024. And what Well, what are you expecting from him as president?
Personally, the way Bawumia championed the digitization of Ghana, which I feel like there's no consideration to the infrastructural fibers of the country, it was insulting to me as a person, especially with my background. I don't think that we have sufficient infrastructural capacity to handle all those things that were being initiated. If we really want to go digital, we should begin to drive infrastructural capacity. Going to commission a card and all those things, we need a database. Who is actually managing our database at the moment? Do you think our database is managed in Ghana? I'm asking. So our attention is on the right thing, but the foundations are not right. For instance, someone is telling me that they want to put notebooks on their on computers for children. When there are no lights in the villages, the electricity is barely on, which sometimes you don't have lights for 3, 4, 5 days. And which electricity are they going to use to charge the laptops to read the notebooks? So I don't know what my expectations are for him if he wins, because he has not convinced me personally. I'm not saying Mahama has convinced me either, because his 24/7, as far as I'm concerned, is flawed. Because you have to be an industrial hub to be 24/7 effective. So it's not like I'm preferring one over the other. Both have not convinced me as a person.
So, if I
That's
should
my
ask this again,
position.
do you think they should have given Alan Shermanton the room for this election as NPP's parliamentary candidate, presidential candidate? So,
Let me use America to answer you. Do you think the Democrats should have chosen Kamala Harris as their flag bearer, or even to have to conceptualize the idea to use Biden, who was already evident in public that there's something not quite in place? Sometimes politicians, something is their problem. So partisan politics within even the party sometimes doesn't make sense. So it may be right, it may be obvious that maybe a Chamantain is the right person, but partisan arrangement means that he's not the right person. For instance, in Nigeria, when Tinubu became, what did he say? That he's 10. It's my turn to be the president, nobody's going to change it. So within the party, there's this my 10 business that goes on. So it's not entirely the right person. It's his 10. He has waited long enough. Now is his time to also show his face. So that is, it's just how the partisan business within the party itself sometimes functions. Because you beg questions, next why not that guy? That guy is this and this and that. So these are some of the things. And it's deep and concerning in Ghana when we do it, especially where we begin to draw in the tribal lines as well. You know, for instance, when Bawumia became the flag bearer, suddenly people say, okay, the Northerners are now going to rule Ghana for the first time. Why are you attributing him to the North? Not his ability as a person, a doctor, as the economic know-how to drive the country. Why can't we look at his qualities as a person, devoid of all these tribal lines? So was he chosen because it is the time for the North? I don't know. So within the party, a lot of things goes on, and you beg yourself and ask why.
Okay.
But it's Alan himself should have known what is going on in the party and prepare himself and has his own contingency in place. Not until primaries, when he's kicked out, then he wants to become the president. It's too late at that time. Obviously, it's too late for the gentleman, the young man, because the timing is so short. See, this is why it has become two horse race. Is it because both Na- Nana Kwame and Alan is not qualified enough to be president? They are, but the time is sometimes you need time. Time, very important. So that's what it is. But do I prefer? If you ask me about the gentleman, the young man as well, I'm not convinced because what I understand is the needs of country and people. None of them is addressing it. Throughout this campaign, nobody talked about the fact that they will fight corruption. Of course, Nana Akufo-Addo promised to fight corruption, and during his term, the rumors and the scandals are bottomless. Is it? You see, those are the things that borders country. Those are the things affecting the economy. Yet, none of the campaign is more about 24/7. Are you building 24/7 on corruption? That means you won't work. Digitization. If the people see the integrity of a digital system, is the integrity of the people behind the scene. So if we are going to build a digital system with a twisted mentality and mindset, the digital system will be corrupt.
But again, you know, John Mahama also promised to fight corruption, coming back to arrest people who have embezzled and caused a lot of corruption within this very government. Didn't you hear that?
I heard something like that. If you come in, that will sound more of a political witch hunt for me than actually wanting to fight corruption. Do you understand to me? If he's going to do it diligently by the use of systems and find facts and figures to prove what people have done, how he's doing. It's one of the requirements. But just to say that you're going after the people who have been, what about the people with him who will be acting questionably?
Honestly, at UPSA, his vice presidential candidate, Professor Jenano Okwa emphasized the point that if you are within the party and you pursue any corrupt action, her boss and herself will come after you. So it's not like they are going to fight and witch hunt only New Patriotic Party members or government officials.
Let me throw some questions back to the panel.
Right.
We are all old enough to see what has been since 1992. The only one political figure I remembered, I think, was after Rawlings's time that went to prison, I think. How many political individuals alleged to have done something that has even been investigated at all? Even while this time was going on, there were some that were supposed to be in court, somehow already in the papers, they were able to take the money that were frozen in account, they took the money out somehow. You see? So he telling me he's coming to fight corruption that has been. What about the corruption that is coming with him? Will he strike a balance? This is why I said, if it's going to be a political witch hunt, he'll be more focused on vengeance and not be aware of the corruption that is taking place with him. But if he's going to be there, ultimately fighting corruption, that means you'll be looking at both faces of things. What has been and what is. That's what I mean by political witch hunt, much more than protecting the public purse.
This is the reason why personally I kind of have a soft spot in terms of corrupt and corruption fighting for John Mahama. I had an encounter with NPP stalwart. His name is PC Apia Ofori. He was a former member of parliament for, I forgotten where he was, but I had an encounter with him. He said, John called me. When John won, I think the 2012 elections, John called him that he wants PC Apia. He is an anti-corruption crusader. If you remember when they were going to sell Ghana Telecom to Vodafone. Yeah, he was the one who blew the whistle. Okay, so he told me directly in an interview that John called him that, PC, I need you to come and help me to fight corruption in Ghana. But he tells me when Akufo-Addo won, PC calls Akufo-Addo, all right, to suggest ways to fight corruption. Akufo-Addo will not even pick, all right. Victoria Hammer had wanted to a dream of getting $1 million. John Mahama sacked her, and there have been several things within John Mahama's government that I think he would be able to fight more than John Nana.
I am not. Look, if Dr. Baumia wins, I accept him as my president. If Mahama wins, I accept as my president. But I'm only diving deep to some of the questions that I don't think have been answered. But I'll have no reservation to accept them. If Nana Kwame wins, even though I don't think that he has been asked the proper questions for him to express how he's coming to make a difference in the country, I don't blame him because the journalists are supposed to ask the questions. And we were asking which hand questions. Chasing somebody who is a rich man to become the president, although it's a crime. When those that have nothing to eat became politicians and are billionaires, you should be investigating journalists to go and find out how you are chasing somebody who is rich coming in. Something is wrong with us. As though someone is sent you as the police to investigate him how he has become rich. At least his pocket is full, so he won't touch our purse. So, because most of them came with empty pocket and now they are loaded, and we are shouting. We should be singing Hallelujah chorus when we saw him come. As to how he become rich, that's his problem. We have international police, we have the BNI. If he's done something wrong, don't pick it up. But for him loaded coming shouldn't be our problem. I'm amazed the kind of questions that he was asked. Someone wants to be the commanding officer of Ghana, and you're not asking him how he's going to police the country. You're not asking him how he's going to fight the corruption. You're not asking him how he's going to fix the roads. And no one even asks him how is he going to achieve this Kumasino.
And as we wrap up, let me bring your attention.
For me, let me speak for Nana Kwame for a minute before you. For me, is it achievable? As far as technology is concerned, it could be done, but it's so big. It can be done, but it's just too big. Economically not viable. As a country that is wanting to develop, putting such money aside to trench the sea to Kumasi, why not Tamale? I don't know. They call it to Kumasi. I don't know, but I think it's a misplaced priority, if you ask me. And if I sit with him, if I have a chance to speak, I'll tell him that, listen, look, it's a no. Leave Dubai alone. Dubai didn't trench anything anywhere. They went into the sea and then extract and then create an island. It's different. What you're talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. Engineering, you don't know what you're talking about. Even we as country people, we don't know, we don't like maintenance. Look at our roads, built nicely, but now they're all broken. And you want to trench the sea, a seriously complex technology. And who's going to maintain it? One day we'll wake up and all of us are under the sea because we won't maintain it. That's my last one for you.
Thank you very much. I'd love to bring your attention. I'd love to bring your attention. Organizing a press conference which is currently underway, and Miracle Abuaje is speaking, accusing the NDC of causing mayhem at various coalition centers, calling on their members to go to the coalition centers to go and observe. He says they are winning the election, so MPP members, I'm quoting him, MPP members should protect. So you can see chaos there already.
we have to be careful. I mean, I told you what I saw sent to me is also interesting. I've asked for the link to see where the information came from.
It's coming from.
That screenshot that was sent to me, and so we have to be careful so we don't throw the country into a chaos. We've done it time and again, and so patience. Definitely, somebody's going to lose, somebody's going to win. If it's not your time this time around, the people says no. If you have evidence to think that the election is rigged, take the evidence, go to court, and present it, and then see what comes out of it. I know some are going to be saying that, okay, oh, we don't trust the Supreme Court. No, we have to somehow trust the system. A system can only become functional like a clock machine when it is tried and tested time and again and again and again. Then it becomes more refined. So our leaders needs to be, they should have to be measured in what they are doing. With this press conference here, there on the election night, that you should be seated, watching where you can watch and see what is going on. You're all going around organizing what do you call it, press conferences to respond to each other. You see, this is why sometimes I feel like these two giants are not serious at all.
Electoral Commission, and they are coming up with a press conference which will bring to viewers here on Election Focus live on NSG News.
I mean, I'm here. I'm not rushing away. You want me to stay with you? I'm happy to stay with you to participate in the results. You want to stay till midnight? No problem. You want to call me? I'll come back and I'll join you. But I'm here. I want to listen to yourself as you continue your deliberation, and I'll listen quietly. Because I was enjoying your own conversation. I came into the meeting room, but I was sitting there enjoying your conversation. Very structured and informative. Thank you for inviting me. All right, let me read from this one.